Hi, this is Ann, and you see my hand go up there, but it's kind of an automatic reflex. You have to excuse me. Um, it's been about a day or so since our last video, and we've had a lot going on. Um, Monday, we went ahead and we got pretty busy. We had to do some paperwork, and we actually kind of did some stuff for the future, for paperwork. Um, then we also kind of, gosh, we just had a busy day Monday. We just kind of ran around. We did a few things. My husband was off on Monday, and then my daughter's car. It's a good car. We use it as a family car, and then when she turned, a certain age, we went ahead and gave her the car, and we still use it like a family car too, but she's nice enough to let us use it as a family car. And but our daughter Rose, that's her car, but there's been some issues with it a little bit last couple of weeks, so we decided to drop it off Monday. So my husband and my daughter went ahead and dropped off the car to get it fixed. Then yesterday we figured, well, we'd stay in because we're without a car. And then my husband came in, and he says, boy, he was like, well, one or two belts broke on his car. And so, oh, Rose, I want to thank you. Rose put some music in the background.
Put the music on.
No, I appreciate that, Rose. Thank you. And see, I just want to tell you, my daughter's like, she's like the sweetest, man. She's like the best. So anyway, then he came in. He says, well, he felt like one or two belts were broken, and he says I was so thankful to be able to get home. He said it's a miracle I got home. I said, well, you need to thank Jesus on heaven for that. Our blessed Mother, Papa's on heaven, for being able to get home. And, heavenly angels and guardian angel and beautiful Holy Spirit. And then, but then he was trying to figure out, well, the one car's in the shop. And this was like late in the day. And he says, well, well, we have no cars. Because the one car in the yard is down. And then he says, well, the other car's in the shop. So, so then he talked to one place, and I wasn't crazy about the place, but the guy said, well, why don't you bring it in tomorrow? And then I was talking with Jack. I said, look, why don't we try to have your car towed down to this other place that we normally take, the same place where, our daughter's car is being fixed right now. And he said, yeah, okay, we'll go ahead and do that. And so, so then we get up really early this morning. We called the shop. He said, yeah, bring the car down. But it's a coincidental thing. It was kind of it's a rare occurrence, but the tow truck that was going to come by and pick up Jack's car, that car ended up breaking down. So they needed another tow truck to tow the tow truck. So all said and done, it was normally the service is really, really fast. It's a great service, but this time it took a couple of hours to kick in. So my husband, he called his boss, let him know what was going on, but needless to say, it was kind of, and then, then he went to go, he went with the tow guy. I think the tow truck driver, he came in around 11, somewhere in there. And then I got a phone call close to 1 o'clock. And my husband mentioned he was still at the shop because we gave him 2 numbers for some taxi cab service. And somehow he wasn't able to reach anybody, or just the numbers. I don't know what happened. So as of now, I don't know if he's at the shop right now or he's at his job. He's trying to get to his job. So we're praying that we're praying that everything works out good, and everything turns out great. And it looks like he might be able to get his car back today. Then my daughter's car might take maybe another day. We're not sure, but we're praying for the best. Um, and not just for us, but for you guys too. We're praying the best for all of you guys in case you're having, that type of, things kind of, roll into place a certain way. And, but, but during this time, like, we got really busy Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We try to get out as much as we could because we heard, especially this coming weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, this is going to be 100 degrees, and that's without the humidity. So it's probably going to be about 110, which is really hot for North Carolina. It's pretty warm. It seems like every year, it just seems like every summer is hotter than the one prior to it. It's just, every year it's just getting hotter and hotter, and it's kind of unusual. But last night, I felt pretty good, and I was a little bit tired, and I was a little bit tired yesterday overall, and my daughter and I both. And so then I was watching a lot of YouTube, and I've been watching quite a bit of YouTube over the past month. And like I said, I enjoy every video I see. Just appreciate being able to, see it. And of course, I've been looking at certain ones, and I've subscribed to a number of YouTubers that where I have a similar interest, or and like our site is more like a kind of a religious. Our site's a religious site, but also I'm also handicapped, so I like to say it's kind of like a religious handicap site. But one thing there's some people that I have focused on a little bit more when they come up, and I hope it's okay if I mention this person here. I've been watching his videos quite a bit, and I really like his videos. They're interesting. He has about 4 or 5 cats, and they love him to death. I mean, we have 2 cats, and they love us too. But his cats, they come up and they just, almost every video he has, they crawl up and they look at him with that look of love, and they want to be petted. And it's like I kind of envy him because we have affectionate cats too, but they really love him to death. But that kind of tells me that I got the feeling he's a very good person. I think I got the feeling, I think he's a real good person inside. Because I heard him talking, and what I did was, I did kind of a check, I went back in his history, and he goes back at least 5 years. And he's a prepper and a homesteader, and some of you have probably heard of it. He goes by, I believe it's Prepper Nurse 1, I believe.
I believe so,
yeah. And he seems like a real nice man. And it's just, I seen like I went back in time with him, and I seen where, number one, I really admire the way, he's a nurse. I really respect that, because I love it when I see people that, they help people and stuff. And I like that. In one of his videos, he mentioned something to the effect he said he was sitting outside, and I believe he's up there in New York, and he's got a nice piece of land. I think he's got 3 acres, something like that. It's beautiful trees and stuff. And he mentioned something about, and I can identify with it, where he says, he says, it's not about money. It's not about the house you live in. He says, the only thing I care about are my 2 kids. He says, that's what's really important to me, is my kids. And I believe one of his, I think his son, or one of his children, has special needs. I believe one of his children has autism. And so, he seems like he seems like a really great dad. And, you can tell, I like the way he's got that calm disposition. He's very calm. There's a part where he went through cancer, and he talks about it. And this is where I was diagnosed with cancer 4 years ago. And when he mentioned the day, I guess he was told he had cancer, and he mentioned he says, I feel like I'm still in shell shock. I'm just kind of, he was on the YouTube, and I said, boy, we can identify with that. And that's not just myself, but our whole family. You're kind of in a state of shell shock. It takes, it's a lot to absorb. And then he mentioned something about, prior to that, his finances were, so-so, and it's like, we can identify with that as well. It's like, yeah, it's like, I remember in the past, we didn't handle I'll be honest, I didn't handle the finances very well, and then, we actually we foreclosed on a property, or had our property foreclosed on, years ago. And so, it was just many things. And then, and the only difference, I don't have, a child with special needs, but myself, we have our own different handicaps, which I discussed in some of my earlier videos. And so I'm just, it was really neat, because I've been watching him, and I like the way he doesn't, one thing good about him, he doesn't spend a half hour or 45 minutes like I do. He talks very well, but he keeps it kind of short, and he gives you like pretty much an everyday, daily update, which is really great. And then I seen where, he had purchased some property, and then you can see where, like 2-3 years later, excuse me for a minute, just hang on. It's okay. You keep the camera on. It'll be all right. Oh, it's it's a scam phone call. So sorry about that. We get sometimes as much as 3 or 4 of those a day, and they're from out of state, other places. So I apologize about that. But what I liked about it is, like, you can kind of see where, even, he was 4 or 5 years ago, he was already, prepping for if things happen with the economy or disasters or anything, a hurricane, anything. And then you can see where, I could see where his land looked a certain way, and then all of a sudden, you look at it now and you can see it was just, it's a work in progress. It's like it's like a work of love. And so I think it's really great. And then I've seen some other YouTubers. There's a couple there that I enjoy watching as well, and they're really nice. They seem like a very nice couple, and I think the couple recently had an anniversary, and the husband, I think they've been married 30-something years, and he did this, heart-shaped cake, and not a heart-shaped cake, but he did like a heart-shaped pancake and a heart-shaped eggs, and he did it for his wife, and I thought that was really, really neat. And then there's another family. I believe they're homesteaders and preppers, and they have a special needs child who has cerebral palsy, and years ago, he's still, I'm still actually his godmother technically, but to me he's like a brother. I mean, and we lived together for about a year and a half, and we've known each other longer than that. And he was born with cerebral palsy, and just really, really neat person. He's a very, very special person. I love him. He's got a great sense of humor. He has a very high IQ. He was registered at 200 plus IQ with the state. Really sharp cookie, but he'd been through a lot of surgeries and things, and he's just been through a lot. But his attitude is just very, very positive. And so the thing is, there's just so many people there. I've seen some other people that do the, dumpster diving, which I really enjoy. And of course, I had to find out in where we're living now whether we can actually do some stuff here. I'm not sure. Back in California, my husband did a little dumpster diving, but that was a long time ago. And then we have others that just kind of go places. There's a nice man. I hope it's okay for me to mention him. I've been watching him for quite some time, and mainly I started watching him because he was going through abandoned houses. And now he's been doing like sideshow type deals, like he goes to these different states and museums and kind of sideshow type things. He's a very interesting man, and he seems like a very, very nice man. He's got a very close knit family, and he's a carpetbagger, and I've enjoyed watching him quite a bit. I've watched him for quite a few. I guess for quite a while, actually, yeah, before I started watching a little bit more YouTube. And so there's, people that really stand out, and of course, I think the prepper nurse wouldn't mind if I do this, because I can't do this with my real cats. But, he does this, and the cats come up to him like this, and it's like, I love it. It's like, it's just so neat. They love him to death. But yeah, I just been looking at, like last night they had like a lot of different things they were talking about, the economy, about, maybe things could change for us. People talking about, buying gold or silver. People talking about, maybe the paper money may not be around as we've known it. Something could happen. There's many scenarios that they've talked about, because other countries around the world are going through certain things too, around the world. And so it is concerning, because the thing is, in my eyes, in our eyes, every person on this earth is beautiful and special. We're all God's children. I mean, and we're all very, very special. And so when I heard some things, like on some videos where they were talking about, well, there's a certain amount of people who said that, well, they may want to, they may not want as many people on earth. They might want to have other people just kind of, go away, and then just have only a certain amount of people on earth, and then, they feel like, oh, there's not enough resources for everyone. But, I mean, you look at this big, beautiful earth, and I can tell you, I mean, when you go across the United States, and you look at the, even if you're on, like, I-40, and you look around, I mean, there's tons of land and water and creeks and waterfalls and beaches, and there's plenty of open space. I mean, and that's just the United States. That doesn't count, like South America or Russia or China and other places. Sure, certain cities, it's like, it seems like it's all clustered, it's real tight and everything, but really, there's so much land. I mean, even if there's 7 billion people on Earth, there's tons of land to go around, tons of water, tons of resources. Sure, I worry about the climate changing. Yeah, I see it where it's getting warmer. But as far as, how do you say it? God made this beautiful world, and there's plenty of room for all of us. I mean, there's plenty of space, and no one's going to be sucking in all the oxygen, but, and the truth be said, I think there was someone once said it, or I seen it somewhere, where if everyone kind of, like, if we all kind of learn how to just share what we had or whatever, just kept things equal, there's more than enough for everybody. I mean, there really is. And so, I'm praying and begging for Jesus not having to come back, and then this way there won't be any more sickness, no more death. Everybody will be really happy, no more hunger. You know, I want everybody to be really, really happy. And I've said this many times before. And, but I really do mean it. Because the thing is, it's so much, it's like if you go to a concert, and let's say you go to a big outdoor concert, or you look at Woodstock, what they talked about Woodstock back in the day. If you had 10 people going there, you know, people say, well, that was nice, but it wouldn't be memorable. It wouldn't have been as memorable. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not condoning all the behavior that was done at that, you know, Woodstock or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, but the fact that you had so many people there, like when you go to a concert, let's say, you know, you make me 30 years, you make me 30 years younger, and I'm at a concert, and you know, you have a bunch of people there, and it's dark, and everybody's got their let's say, you know, they got their smartphones up, and the lights and everything. The more people you have, the more exciting it is. Can you imagine if you went to Disney World, and you could go there, and you could say, let's say there's only 50 people going to Disney World. And you say, oh, look at this, I got all this space, and I don't have to wait in line, and, you know, but then there'd be a part of you that say, boy, wouldn't it be a little bit funner, though, if there was more people? Because when there's more people, it's more exciting. You can kind of look at one another. Everybody dresses different. Everybody has a different look, different swag, many different personalities, so many beautiful faces. And, you know, this is where I think people have to think about it. You know, when people start thinking, you know, about, you know, like, down, you know, trying to get rid of people or whatever, or, you know, this is not good, because, you know, it's like, you know, if anything, you know, we should try to, you know, we're all here together, and, you know, we're here for a certain amount of time, and I'm praying Jesus don't have him come down so we can be here even longer. But it's like, hey, you know, let's all be thankful for everything we've got. And because really, Jesus is not in heaven. God has given us so much. We've been given everything. And we have so much to be thankful for. And it's like, you know, it's like the prepper nurse, one mentioned, he says, you know, make, you know, how do you say, you don't know if you have tomorrow. He mentions that, you know, tomorrow's not guaranteed. And he says, you know, hug and love your loved ones. And excuse me about that. The phone's ringing, but we're going to keep the camera rolling. Let me see here for a minute. Hold on for 1 second. This is unusual, but just give me a minute. Hello? I'm doing okay. It's my husband Jack. So I'm currently we're currently recording right now, but that's okay. You have any good news? Great. Okay. And what is the damage? Okay. All right. Are you coming home first, and then? Okay. Well, then we'll see you in a little bit then. Yeah. Well, you come here and we'll talk more about it. All right. Well, thanks for calling, honey. All right. All right. Thank you, Jack. Bye. That was my husband, Jack, and I boy, I tell you, boy, it's we try to keep it real here. You know, every one of our videos, and I say our videos because it's Jesus not in heavens, or Blessed Mother, Papa's not in heavens. Our beautiful Rose, Jack, and our whole family, into our beautiful cat. But really, this is like everyone's channel, and it's your channel. And but what I was going to say is, none of the videos have been edited. What you see is what you get. But you know what? I think it's better that way. You don't have to, number one, you don't have to see too many clips going this way. But also, too, it's like, this is real life. And so Jack's going to be coming home. His car's been fixed, and I'm very thankful for that. And We're thankful it's going to be $100. So we're extremely thankful because I thought it was going to be more. It's like, but we're very thankful, and so he's on his way. So, but I wanted to talk to you because it's like I was talking about prepper nurse one, and but I like the way he says that. It's like enjoy each day, make the most of each day, and I want all of us to enjoy each moment down here. For as long as we can be down here, because I know heaven. I've heard heaven is like really, really beautiful. And I like to believe that most of us are going to make it. I really do. I like to believe most of us will make it. So the thing is, for the people who want to, maybe not have people around or whatever, it's like, people we need to think, because it's so much funner and it's so much nicer when, we have to remember too that God is in everyone. Jesus and all in heaven's in everyone. And when you look in a person's eyes, it's true. You see the eyes of Jesus and on heaven and God looking at you, and it's like, we're like one big happy family. Yeah, there's trouble. I mean, there's wars, there's people suffering, but then there's good things too. So I'm praying. Like today, I'm gonna go say some good rosaries today, but I really am thankful for everything, and I'm worried about what might happen here in the next year or two with the economy and stuff, or what could happen. But I'm praying that people will not do bad things. That's including me. That's including me. And I'm praying that we do good things to make things nice for everybody on here, so we can all have a great time. It's like, if you go to a party, you want everybody to have a good time. You lay out a table and you put out food and music, and you want everybody to have a good time. That's the way our thinking should be. It's not about who's better, who's worse. We're all the same. In God's eyes, we're all equal. We're all the same, and we're all special. It's like, so why don't we just, it's like, have a good time and do, what I'm saying? It's like not try to outdo, but it's like, let's try to make sure that we all enjoy this time on earth, as it is in heaven. And it would be so great. And it would be so great. And some people say, oh, well, Ann, you're going back to the old hippie mentality. No, I was a little girl during the 60s. I was a teeny girl. And, but no, I mean, the truth be said, I think really, like I said, in your core, nobody really wants to see anybody hurt. Yeah, not really. No. When you see another person laughing and smiling, doesn't it kind of make you kind of smile a little bit? You hear a person laughing, and they're laughing so hard they're crying. Doesn't it make you kind of want to laugh too? That's what I'd love to see. And we can't always be like that. Sometimes we're sick, people are dying. I understand that. There's sad times we're crying, but you know what? We've got stuff around us that's like, maybe not so great, but the thing is, it's like we hold hands, and you know what I'm saying? We encourage one another, support one another, love one another. I think myself, during these times right here, I'll continue to look at the news, and I'll continue to look at the other videos, see what's going on. But we're going to be praying. I think that's one of the best things we can do is pray. And I think, preparing to a certain degree. If you can do it. This is where I do agree with the preppers. If you can, if you have the wherewithal, if you can try to prepare for a little bit, even like during hurricane season, we're told to prepare for at least 2-3 days or a week, in case, if we have no electricity or some things are not working. If you have the wherewithal to do it, try to do it. I think it's a really great idea. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. But at the same time, too, if we can help people as much as we can, I think that's a really great thing. It's a really great thing. But I'd like to go ahead and at least say one prayer before I get off because I know I've been talking, and that is kind of like our specialty. And I apologize about the phone calls, except for my husband. But I tell you what, I'm going to say a prayer to our Papa Joseph. Here is a prayer to Saint Joseph, but I'm going to say a prayer to Papa Joseph. O glorious Papa Joseph, you are chosen by God to be the foster father of Jesus, the most pure spouse of Mary, ever virgin, and the head of the Holy Family. You have been chosen by Christ's vicar as the heavenly patron and the protector of the church founded by Christ. Protect the sovereign pontiff and all the bishops and priests united with him. Be the protector of all who labor for souls amid the trials and tribulations of this life, and grant that all peoples of the world may follow Christ and the church he founded. Dear Papa Joseph, accept the offering we make to you. Be our Father, protector, and guide in the way of salvation. Obtain for us purity of heart and love for the spiritual life. After your example, let our actions be directed to the greater glory of God, in union with the divine heart of Jesus, the Immaculate Heart of Mary, and your own paternal heart. Finally, pray for us that we may share in the peace and joy of your holy death. And of course, Jesus, I want to tell you, now Jesus, I have this beautiful picture of Jesus. It says, Jesus, I trust in you. And Jesus, I do trust in Jesus. I need to have a lot more trust, a lot more faith, a lot more hope. I can see a lot of improvement I need for myself, but Jesus is my man. And I love him so very much. We're all in heaven, and our papas and mamas and all in heaven, grandma and grandpas, the Holy Spirit, Papa Joseph, and angel saints in heaven. And so I want to thank you for listening. Let me get my voice back. For listening to me today. We love you guys, and God bless you. And I pray you have a blessed day. And again, thank you for listening to us.